The lights are about to change to get race 2 of the weekend in Fanatec GT underway. Pierre-Alexandre Jean gets out of sequence in the Ferrari. There's contact in the pack and bits go flying. But a good start is made by Marciello. Vincent Abril to the outside line. Vanthoor to the outside of Marshall as they dive into turn 1. Tries to scrabble around on the outside. The Porsche gets run out wide. Verviche gets run out wide as well. And there's a spin in the middle of the pack. Thomas Drouet, by the look of it, has gone around. And there's drama then at the first corner.
Yes, but above that, Dries Vanthoor's got himself up into 3rd place. So that's an improvement. He held back but got the run down into turn 1, went the long way around and managed to find a slot to slot himself into. So 1 position gained in turn 1.
Into the pits has come Ethan Simeoni in the McLaren. Thomas Drouet tries to sort himself out then as the race leaders accelerate their way up through Skyflach for the first time. There is Fred Verviche going out wide. Now he was in a bit of a skirmish at turn 1. He may have picked up some damage as well. Marciello it is then that leads the way. This is turn 8, turn right. And turn right again through this almost mushroom-shaped part of the circuit. Drouet has got going again. I just wonder whether anything might be done about Pierre-Alexandre Jean's start, dropping out of the pack and coming back in again. The race director does not like people doing that as Jim Plar is under attack there from the Porsche of Engelhardt.
I think the Ferrari was maybe trying to anticipate the lads going out and got it wrong and had to pull back in again. So the consequence may be some form of penalty down the hill, down into Hans Ernst Bock. And I trust, I mean, you're trying to get, what, 4 cars into the space of 1 in a very tight corner, and really you've got to be patient in these opening laps. Fred Verviche likewise in the 46 Audi trying to make a move on the 93 Mercedes of Eddie Cheever.
Ethan Simeoni has rejoined after pitting to sort out the damage and whatever the problem was that caused him to stop on that formation lap as Marciello leads. Then he comes through now. 1 lap in the book. Abril is 2nd, 8/10 back. Vanthoor is 3rd. Marshall is 4th. 5th is Clean, heading Pro-Am ahead of D. McDonald. They've had a switch there. Plar is 7th. Engelhardt is 8th. Here comes Verviche round the outside of Eddie Cheever. The 2 of them absolutely together then for 15th and 16th places, but Cheever staves him off.
That Ferrari in, which is at the 52 or
21, I think, isn't it? Yesterday's Pro-Am winning car, yeah. That got run out wide on the dirt at turn 1 on the first lap, punctured tyre.
But not just that, the rim is also damaged. You can see a big chunk of the rim is missing. So that was why the tyre went down.
Start is under investigation. Start is under investigation.
That's the voice of Alain Adon, the race director, you can hear. And we saw the Ferrari pull out of the pack, but it was a bit messy and we saw some debris fly, so they're going to have a look at that and make sure that people weren't out of position. Look to the pit wall, waits for the Ferrari, out it comes, and then it tries to get back in again. Likewise
on the other side of the track, the Porsche are doing the same thing. So the middle of the pack really was anticipating trying to get rolling when we were held quite a long time till the cars literally got to the start-finish lights before the lights went out. And there's where the Mercedes got turned around. And Verviche had got into the back of Klaus Bachler's Porsche as well. But there's the Mercedes rotating. And there, look, the Ferrari number 21 out wide through the gravel and gets a puncture. May have had a part to play in the incident with the Mercedes as well, or the Mercedes at least may not have spun on its own, let's put it that way. So there is the leader, absolutely out on his own. Raffaele Marciello goes through, and now Vanthoor is just about close enough to think about a move against Vincent Abril. He tries to unsettle the McLaren going into Tarzan, comes out of the corner still on his tail. Now we're on board. This is Dries Vanthoor. He's 3rd and he's going for 2nd. Yes, up into turn 2, and this is a corner really more about setting yourself up for the Hugenthal Serpent. Look how cars run way, way high, then they cut back down. Dries Vanthoor tried to get alongside Vincent Abril, but there was no space available. Now up through the Rob Schluttemacher curves, go left, go right, up to the top of the hill, then the Schluff down into this. Well, I'm just wondering how much grip the McLaren has, because it looks to me like Dries Vanthoor has got a better car around this part of the racetrack than the McLaren is giving Vincent Abril. But it's on the straight where the McLaren consolidates. Again, into turn 9. How close should you get without getting into contact? Looking to go up the inside, make the space, but without having contact, it's very difficult to see it having any success.
That's Fred Verviche versus Ben Goethe. 2 more WRT Audis, absolutely level. And Goethe comes up to have a go at Verviche, who's got damage, look on the front, and he goes through.
Yeah, that was well executed. He got a good run through the Hugenholz, got up alongside Fred Verviche. You can see that right front damage. That'll have a bearing on the cars, particularly on the entry, the turn into these corners. That's probably one of the better passes that we've seen here in this race.
Pit window is open and Charles Weerts is ready. Now, it's interesting that they're going to bring in Dries Vanthoor right at the start of the window. It might be to try and jump the McLaren. Yes, it might be. There's something more sinister.
I have a feeling this is a strategic move to get the third place Audi out of this situation. It's landlocked behind Vincent Abril.
Yeah.
So bringing in the pit lane window is now open and not coming in this lap. Well, Louis stays out, but the McLaren comes in.
So Abril is in, and also Dennis Marshall is in. So finally, Dries Van Thor has got clear road. So change of plan, at least do one lap where you can go flat out without a car ahead of you.
So the gap now first to second with Dries Van Thor in that second position is up to 10.2 seconds. Oh, close coming out. No, the McLaren was in the outer lane, so that gives it priority.
And off the road has gone one of the McLarens. Is that Clean? Christian Clean's car, I fear, off the racetrack. And has he got a punctured tyre because it's limping around? It is staying on the dirt. You can see all the grass at the front of it. Christian Clean not rejoining the tarmac, and that is the Pro-Am leader in big, big trouble.
Yeah, I mean, something happened. Was there contact? Not there. Was the contact down in the Hugenholz-Hebron? Because three cars wide as they come, they all compress over, so the Audi got into the right rear. Now that's how they cut the tyre down or it's damaged the suspension. But whatever it is, it was pretty dramatic. All of a sudden you'll see the McLaren as it comes over the top of the thing, it just veers off to the right, off the racetrack. I think there's a rear toe link or a mechanical part of the car has failed, and that's why he's had to. If that car was drivable, he would have brought it back to the pits. Boguslawski is better than that.
There going through is the Porsche. So Adrian Delina running in sixth, race number 30.
Full course yellow,
Thomas
20
Neubauer, and we're going full course yellow. Full course yellow is called for by the race director. You'll see the car suddenly slow because they're going to be given the 10-second countdown. And then that'll become 5. And there is the race leader, Timo Boguslavski, who is now 3.9 seconds ahead.
And it's all sort of irrelevant because full course yellow, everybody's got to keep a delta time. But then there will be undoubtedly a safety car, which will then form everybody up nose to tail, and that will put the 32 Audi right on the tail of the 89 Mercedes.
Green flag.
Green flag is shown. 13.5 minutes then for the restart. Over the line, Boguslavski is ahead by 0.6 of a second. That's all. And there, big, big dive from Elise de Pauw, but it doesn't work for him. He gets blocked by Patrick Niederhauser. So the race leaders, Mercedes versus Audi, and then look at third and fourth and fifth. That's one.
Yes, Dennis Lin's the one I'm going to keep an eye on because he's all over the back of the Mercedes, going one way around. Hugenholz can't do much. Jules Gounon a bit too canny to open up the opportunity. But look, you can barely see the McLaren. It's so close to the rear of the Mercedes.
Miguel Ramos is heading Pro-Am in the Garage 59 McLaren, currently running in 13th place overall. There is the leading silver. That is Alex Arca for Attempto Racing. Out of turn 3 he goes. Now, Charles Weerts is still stuck in second place and is still frustrated, isn't he? Because he's not able to make a move against the race leader.
I mean, more or less, as this race was got under green flag conditions, he's been 0.7 of a second behind the lead Mercedes. Occasionally it might dip to 6.999, but essentially it's been 0.7 of a second. And that just sort of sums up the situation between Thomas Boguslawski, who's there to consolidate, and Charles Weerts, who's there to try and attack.
Raffaele Marciello did a superb job in the first stint. Timo Boguslavski has done a very solid job, as John says, in the second, and they are on target then for a third Sprint Cup win of the year in Fanatec GT. Up to the Arie Luyendyk curve, checkered flag is at the ready, and after not scoring yesterday, a win at Zandvoort for Timo Boguslavski and Raffaele Marciello. Mercedes wins in the dunes. Second across the line, Charles Weerts with Dries Van Thor. And for third, Peter Schothorst in the Audi, just ahead of Jules Gounon, and Dennis Lind fifth. Really good drive by the Attempto driver. And look at this now, because Delina, Panis and Arca all come scrapping up to the line. They go through with Alex Arca winning silver ahead of Elise de Pauw, and Thomas Neubauer third in the Silver Cup. A right old scrum across the line at the very end of the race. So, race 2 of the weekend in the Fanatec GT World Challenge Europe, powered by AWS Sprint Cup, won by Timo Boguslavski and Raffaele Marciello from Charles Weerts and Dries Van Thor, and Peter Schothorst and Dennis Marshall take third. Jules Gounon fourth with Jim Pla, Vincent Abril fifth with Dennis Lind, and sixth to Porsche, Adrian Delina and Christian Engelhardt. Aurélien Panis and Patrick Niederhauser seventh ahead of the best in silver, Alex Arca and Nicolas Schurl. They win the class from Elise de Pauw and Pierre-Alexandre Jean. Thomas Neubauer and Ben Goethe are 10th overall and third in silver. 15th the Pro-Am winners, Miguel Ramos and Dean McDonald. The race winners are, for the Acodis ASP Mercedes team, Timo Boguslavski and Raffaele Marciello.